some more. Let's go for champions. Yeah, it was that kind of night.
We also saw your catcher, Issa Centrone, visit Nevaeh Brown in the circle. It seems like she helped her get out of a tough situation. What's the relationship like between those two?
Yeah, I think every battery relationship is special and unique. And
you talk about that shot. What was the play drawn up?
Well, it's just our end-of-game play, and it's for Kiki to drive it, and she kind of fumbled a little bit, but Kendall's an option in the corner, and so it worked out for us today.
You said earlier this week that your team needed to improve on shot selection. How did them playing smart offensively contribute to this win?
Yeah, I mean, it's the most we've scored in conference play.
Nigeri, 6 strikeouts, second consecutive no-hitter. What's been working for you so well in the circle?
I don't know. I feel like pitch calling has been really good. So a lot of credit to Coach Tara, and then obviously behind the plate too. Like, I'm only as good as my catchers.
Yesterday after the game, Nigeri gave a lot of praise to the catchers. What goes into keeping that battery chemistry so strong?
Honestly, them just being great people and taking us into consideration too.
Lottie, 7 kills, 35 assists. How do you balance running the offense while also looking to attack?
I think today that was really part of the mindset going in, was being really offensive.
Earlier this week, you told me that Jackson Lima's biggest contribution to this team was his defense. Yeah. But in that second, we saw that 3-run homer from him. What kind of impact does he have on this roster?
Well, he's been huge because he wasn't our starting third baseman probably going into fall or coming out of fall, but he's just kind of grinded his way through it.
A great weekend for you at the plate, but something that stood out was the back-to-back games with home runs in the first. What has been clicking for you right out of the gate?
What's clicking is just not thinking about what I'm doing at the plate. Honestly, sometimes I just get in my head and think, oh, this pitch is coming. But then I just got back and just decided just get on time, go for the ball.
I love that, not thinking about it. Tell us about the atmosphere at Big East Media Day.
Well, it's overwhelming a little bit.
For you? Overwhelming for you?
It is a little bit in terms of hopping from interview to interview. And
there's a unique connection between these two coaching staffs. Both pitching coaches are daughters of head coaches whose teams played in the Women's College World Series last year. Now, we all know Texas Tech was one of those teams, and their head coach, Jerry Glasgow, hired his daughter, Tara Archibald, after she spent 5 seasons as head coach at Eastern Illinois. The SFA has won 10 of the last 13 games, including the last 3 matchups. If SFA wins tonight, this will be their 9th straight victory, which is their longest winning streak since 1989. I asked Coach Carthel what the success stems from, and he says it has to do with the 0-2 start they had to the season. After they lost to Abilene Christian, he said he had a long talk with his guys in the locker room, which he believed ignited a fire under the team and has resulted in them being undefeated in conference play. Rob? Tonight is the final Toros throwback night, meaning this is the last time the players will be rocking those blue jerseys. In 2005, this team was founded when they purchased the Columbus River Dragons and relocated them to Austin, Texas. They then renamed the team the Austin Toros, and 9 seasons later rebranded to what they are called now, the Austin Spurs. Well, Samantha Swan, catcher for the Sun Devils, and Maddie Hartley over at first for the Cougars share a really special connection. The two have been really close friends since they were about 10 years old, as they both grew up in Georgetown, a suburb just outside of Austin. Swan and Hartley spent years playing side by side on the Texas Bombers, and then continued that chemistry at Georgetown High School, where they made deep postseason runs. In 2021, they were semifinalists. In 2022, they were runners-up at state. I had the chance to catch up with both their moms before the game yesterday, and they told me this weekend has meant so much, being able to reconnect, reminisce, and now watch their daughters compete on the same field again, just on opposite sides this time. Will, a player that has been producing at the plate all series long is Wildcats second baseman Shintaro Inoue. He grew up in Japan but has brought some pregame traditions with him to Kansas State. Before each game, he does a depth perception drill where he holds one thumb closer to his face and the other thumb further out. This helps him train his eyes and improve pitch recognition. Talking about Jerry Glasgow, he has a pretty unique path to college softball. For more than 20 years, he worked as a hunting and fishing guide in Mexico, taking businessmen on quail and duck hunts. He would drive all the way from Illinois to Mexico multiple times a year, but by 2007, it became a bit too dangerous to cross the border, so he pivoted fully to coaching, something he originally started just for fun because, like you guys mentioned, he had 3 daughters who liked to play softball. That decision launched a career that eventually led him to Georgia, Texas A&M, Louisiana at Lafayette, and now here at Texas Tech. Guys, in the start of the 4th quarter in yesterday's game, the Spurs went on a 15-2 run, which was ultimately the deciding factor in the win. Kyle Mangus said their team has 2 sayings, unfazed and next play mentality. Mangus said that the team keeping those phrases in mind and leveling up on their defensive effort is what helped them get the victory. I also asked Coach Chance if he said something in the huddle that sparked something out of the group. He said, they just finally did what I told them to do. Simple as that. Will? In our call earlier this week with Coach Barlett, she had a lot of praise for Kinsey Brown, calling her a piece of what the Sun Devil program has been built around over the past few seasons. Barlett described her as a true leader, someone who's trusted, highly respected, and as she put it, the kid doesn't know how to fail. She's also someone who sets the tone daily through her habits and accountability, helping shape the culture in the locker room. And off the field, she's become a fan favorite, often sticking around after games to help sign autographs for young fans. Brown says that's intentional because she remembers being that little girl in the stands herself, growing up idolizing Jenny Fitch, calling it a full circle moment now being in that same position. Well, how about this for family ties? Freshman Ava Henry is carrying on a proud McNeese legacy. Her mom played basketball here and still holds the single game blocks record. Her dad, a Hall of Famer in football for McNeese, ranks 9th in career receiving yards and is now the wide receivers coach for the Buffalo Bills. And it doesn't stop there. Her uncle and 2 cousins also suited up for the Cowboys. Matt?